Whole Bishay waterfall, all the people that came there knew that this guy from Russia was missing. So everyone tried his best, they called other people that camped on the other side of the waterfall. Towards a different hitch. So, but overall, and this was actually very surprising, that I exposed myself on any time, like in the morning, in the evenings, in the middle of the night, in the weirdest places, and doesn't matter where I went, people were always treated me with a lot of respect, with a lot of kindness, were always very ready to help me also. And that was very nice. And I had also a very interesting experience because Timo and we joined a kind of spiritual retreat, I don't know how to explain it, in Bishay Waterfall. And unfortunately I lost Timo. Timo was just gone. And Timo, my travel companion, and he not came back. So it was a kind of moment where I really needed help to find Timo. So I asked around, and then a huge movement of people came and started looking with me. So the whole Bishay waterfall, all the people that came there knew that this guy from Russia was missing. So everyone tried his best, they called other people that camped on the other side of the waterfall. They talked to the security, the police came, and everyone was helping me. And it was such a pleasure to see like how helpful Iranians are when it comes to someone could be in danger, yeah, someone really needs help. And that was, wow, that was so warm-hearted to see, like how many people were ready to help me in this kind of situation, to find Timo again.
Yeah, it's normal in Iran.
Yes, and he was like lost in the forest, he forgot his phone also, and he was lost actually, so he was, I don't know, wandering around, where's the path, and then people found him and brought him, and I was so happy about that. So yeah, very, very cool. So
Yeah.
very...
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So if someone asks you about Iran, what will you say? What would you say?
It's a very good question. So to answer this question, I really want to answer this question honestly, because I know that every country has its up and downs. There is no perfect country where you go and everything is like a miracle, right?
Yeah.
So we
Of
also
course.
have problems in Germany and Europe. So I guess that overall the travel experience, first of all, is different as a man and as a woman in every country. So even if you go to Europe, it's different if you travel as a solo girl while hitchhiking and you tent in the middle of nowhere. It can be a different travel experience. So I know that my kind of journey I have right now is also kind of privilege, because I'm a man, because I'm from Europe. It makes things much easier to travel here. So I would say, like, culture-wise, food-wise, how people treat you is such a pleasure. But I also know that the situation government-wise can be a little bit difficult sometimes. You get confronted, of course, also with things that are more serious, can be more serious in the end. So Iran can be a lot of fun, but there are also rules like in every country. So if you stick with the rules, if you respect the rules, you will probably have a wonderful travel experience here. So I think overall when I come back to Germany, I will tell the people the truth, like how I experienced my travel here. And I had a wonderful journey overall. And so this is what I tell, I think, probably everyone. But I also know that the difference can be quite big. So I know that the government works kind of different here than in Europe. society can be a little bit different here. The religious is totally different than what we experience in Europe. But this is actually also something very interesting, that the perception I have all the time from Islam or Muslim countries was so wrong. And to see how people treat each other here, how I also get approached by very religious people, was such a pleasure. So I never had any negative experience. I visit so many religious places. I joined so many religious events and had such fun. It was very, very cool. And so I will tell people also about that religious is very different here, but it's very nice and it's very interesting, and that you can learn so much from it. And I definitely can understand that it's probably a little bit different to travel as a woman here, also like when it comes to how you dress up, how you present yourself. You have to step a little bit back. You can have the same amount of freedom maybe you expect in Europe. But this is what traveling is about. You not can expect that things will be the same that in your home country. So when I traveled through Afghanistan, I know that this country will be totally different, and I not can expect any kind of treatment I usually have in Europe. So I literally don't have expectations at all, and I accept the rules there in the country. And if you do that, and if you know what will wait for you in the country, if you accept the rules, and if you're good with it, if you get along with it, you have in any country a very good travel experience. But it's of course always a question of how good you can adapt, and how different you can also travel. Yeah.
Actually, most of guidebooks says traveling in Iran is much more safer than traveling in Europe. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's interesting. So, I would say somehow yes. It's a different kind of security, I would say.
Yeah.
So there is no, even in Europe, if you see, I travel to so many countries in Europe, and the security feeling is always a little bit different. So, but in Iran, Afghanistan and Pakistan, I had a very wonderful experience, because police and military take a lot of care here about foreigners. So I want to be sure that everything is fine, everything is good, you are safe and sound. And so yes, overall I would say I felt in any time very safe here. I never get approached in a negative way. I never got approached by thieves. I never experienced corrupt policemen or any kind of that, and exposed myself in very vulnerable situations. So sometimes Timo and I camped and police came. They just asked us if everything is fine, and then they just left and everything was good. And they also let the note for us there that they will have an eye on us on the night. If everything is going to happen, they will be there for us. So yes, overall I personally had a very good and safe feeling here. And so I think if you not join anything what is not legal, you have a very safe travel experience.
That's good. Do you have any advice for other traveler who come to Iran, or any tips? Maybe it can help them to have a better trip, or I don't know, something like that.
I think I have. So what is for me, I think the most difficult thing in Iran is something what's called torof. It's like this super, how to explain it? It's like a super extreme way of being polite and hospitable. So even if you don't want something, people almost like forcing you to accept the gift, to accept the food. So people here approaching you sometimes in a very direct way. And I actually found a solution for this, and I think it's very important to understand with what kind of attention people do things. So most of the people here, they just want to be sure that you have an incredible time, and that you are good, and that you are safe, and that you feel comfortable. So sometimes people are too guest-friendly here, too...
Sometimes too much,
too much a little bit. So I think what I wanted to say with this, it's not a negative thing. It's just like you feel sometimes like a famous person, like a pop star here. People come in the middle of nowhere, ask you for pictures, ask you for bringing you to a restaurant to eat something with you. That can, for people, they are more introvert, a little bit much. But I'm more the extrovert person, so I like to interrogate with people. I like to not interrogate with people. I like to interact with people. So for me, it was always a pleasure to have so many people around me. They would be so excited and so curious about my journey. But you also can imagine that for one or two, it can be a little bit too much. But you get also used to this. That you feel somehow very special here. Like people sometimes stop in the middle of the road, stare at you, come to you, have so many questions, make pictures of you, want selfies. So it gives you a little bit this feeling of being famous. And I personally discovered this, that if this is fame, I don't want to be famous. Like I'm very fine to sometimes have my privacy, drink my coffee in a coffee shop somehow, not get approached by any people. But actually doesn't matter where you are, people always come and be curious about you, especially when you look very foreign, like Timur, my travel companion, blonde, blue eyes, like people were shocked sometimes to see him. Because there are still some areas in Iran, they're not so, they have not so much tourists, so people are still like, oh my god, look at this guy, he's here, he's in our village, it's such a pleasure, it's an honor. And for us, it was always so cool to experience this. But yeah, as I said, if you're more introvert, it can be a little bit much. Yeah.
That's perfect. So, anyway, Tony, thanks for coming and join our interview.
Thank you so much too.
You're welcome, and hope to see you again in Iran. For sure you will come.
Yes,
Yeah, you should also bring your family. I don't know, your parents, friends.
I would love to. I would love to so much. I plan already actually a trip with my family to the Middle East, to Iran and Pakistan. I would love to bring my parents here.
Yeah, hope to see you again one
so
day.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we wish you have a nice trip,
Yes.
and take care, please, and enjoy
Yes.
your trip.
And I want to say also, I mean, thank you so much, not just for this interview, also like for taking all this time care for me, like while I have the birthday here, while I was sick also, you took so much care about me.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much for that.
It was my pleasure,
Such
actually.
nice to know a good friend like Julia in Isfahan. And yeah, I would love to see you again, that's for sure.
Yeah. So have a nice trip.
Yeah,
I wish you
thank
the best.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.